Hi guys, this is FFAN 16 and welcome to a news update video in regards to PlayStation Network ID renaming. This has finally come out, guys. I know there's been a lot of people asking to have the ability to change their PSN names. Maybe back in the day you made something, it sounded great, you thought you were being hilarious, but you go online to play a first-person shooter with somebody and they're just making fun of you. Or you're just embarrassed about keeping that name you made when you were 12. Here you go, guys. PlayStation has come out. You can now change your PSN name. There's some pros and cons. We're going to get into that in this video right here. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is to show you where you can get this done. It's going to be in your PlayStation 4 itself. This is for the name change. You want to head on up to your settings, account management, account information, and this can take you into this next screen where you're going to go down to your profile. And then here is a new area they built that says Online ID, change your PlayStation ID. There will be several steps to do this. They're going to confirm A, have you backed up your saved data? Please back up your saved data. There's still a chance by changing your PlayStation Network ID, you may lose downloads, saves, in-game currency. Just better safe than sorry. So just do that backup to the PlayStation Network Cloud. Now, if you do not have PlayStation Plus and the ability to save to the PlayStation Cloud, you can get an external hard drive and you can back up your saves to that, or just a large thumb drive if possible, depending on how many games you guys have. Once you do that, then you can come into here and you have to again accept the terms and conditions. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I do not want to change my name, but I believe until you hit confirm at the last screen, nothing will be done. Of course, you're going to have to read all these. Actually, the terms and conditions isn't that bad. If you hit accept, they want to say, if you haven't already, again, save your progress, please. You will go to the PlayStation has a page to help go through all their critical bugs, their high bugs, and what's the known issues with this so far. I will leave that link below so you guys can be aware before you do this, what you're kind of getting into. Okay, so that's going to ask you to sign in, and at which point you'll get the name screen. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to go any further. To be able to then choose a name. Once you've chosen a name, it's going to give you a whole bunch of suggestions. I heard these suggestions are hilarious. Tech Reviews got their own little article. I'll leave that in the link below, saying the suggestions are sometimes bad and hilarious. So yeah, have some fun. Remember, you only get one free change and then it will cost you after that. At least we have the ability to change our PSN name now, guys. I know some people had some really unfavorable names or very embarrassing names that they wanted to change. Also be aware that your old ID will display with your new one for 30 days so that your friends can still find you until they get used to your new PlayStation Network name. Now we're going to get into some of the known issues, bugs, and that from the PlayStation Network website. Okay guys, I am on the PlayStation Network official website in regards to how to change your online ID. Just going to go through this really quickly. Again, I'll leave the link below so you guys can read it in more detail if you're interested in changing your ID. The first header here just goes through what to expect. You have to do it either through the PlayStation 4 or web browser by signing in with your ID, and just more of the details. Here's kind of the page of what it's going to look like if you want to change your ID online. You'll put an ID. There'll be some suggestions. Again, I heard this is hilarious. Your first one is free, and of course they're going to advertise the cranky out of that. And then before you hit confirm, this is what your new and old ID will look like, and your new ID will display afterwards. So just some how-to steps on the PS4 and your web browser, kind of what I just went through with you guys earlier on in the video. The one thing you might want to be aware of is no known issues with some identified issues and the critical issues with changing your name. Let's quickly go through these three. Games with no known issue, this is probably the best thing. Go through A to Z. If you have a favorite game and you're worried about losing the save data, your download content, your in-game currency, look for that game in this list. If it is not listed here, it probably never got tested, so be aware there may be a potential for those type of losses with that game. If you're feeling comfortable, all your games are here, go ahead and do your name change. With the games with issues identified, this is kind of looking more into moderate to high issues, but not full out critical mayday, I lost everything issues. So your previous ID may remain visible to you and other players. Be aware of that. If you still have that embarrassing ID for 30 days, it may still be visible. So it's going to be on leaderboards. And it may even stay there depending on how long the leaderboards keep the record. Even though you changed your ID, it may still keep your old one. It depends on the system. User accounts on PlayStation may be unlinked from game accounts. You must relink them. This could be like Ubisoft and stuff like that if they interlink with the PlayStation network to be able to transfer information between the two systems. Here are some games that were identified with some high to moderate issues. I'm gonna go through this a little slowly here. Dragon Quest Builders, really? Okay, seriously, okay. Anyways, that's the first thing I see. PlayStation VR World, what else is important to me here? That's about it. I would, but I don't have Dragon Quest Builders yet. I would like to get it, but again, I'm not gonna be changing my name, so for those who have these games here, be aware there may be some issues when changing your name. Now here's the critical stuff, guys. This is the stuff that if you play these games or if you're in this infrastructure, you might want to be aware that you may lose these stuff if you change your ID. Users may lose in-game currency, whether paid or earned. Loss of game progress, including scores, progress towards trophies, unlocking, and loss of UGC or parts of the game may not function properly, both online and offline. This is crucial for people who play these games right here. So if these are your main hub, if these are your jam, you may not want to be changing your PlayStation ID at this time. Now, guys, this doesn't mean these are going to stay critical forever. I'm sure PlayStation is working with their development and test team to find out what these critical issues are. They're probably already identified as, i.e., they know they're critical, and to find solutions around them, working with the developers of these games. So it may not be perfect at launch here, guys, but be wary. They don't just stop working on these once it's launched. They do have support, they do have bug fixing and stuff like that. It just give them time. Again, if these are the games you are playing at this time, you may not want to change your PlayStation ID until these critical issues are fixed. As for these minor to high issues, if you're playing these games, just be cognizant. If you're really jamming to change your name, you may experience low or intermediate issues, and of course then you can look for games you want. There you guys go. That is a brief outline on how to change your PlayStation Network ID, some of the known and critical issues when going ahead and doing that. Please review the PlayStation's website that I leave the link below here to see if you may be impacted if you change your PSN ID. This is a long time waiting. I know this has been asked for by the community for a long time, and finally Sony is able to accommodate. There of course is always going to be some hiccups upon first launch here, but give them some time, guys. They're probably working through those critical, minor, and high defects to get this out to you so that the games don't get so impacted by the changes. Please review what games you're playing. Do a full backup of all your saves so you don't lose anything that you have worked hard for within your games. I hope you guys have some fun creating some new PSN names. please like, sub, leave a comment, and as always, guys, happy gaming.